get the paper covered initially. So I've done the same thing again there. I'll try and lift some of that out in a moment. All right, well, I've used a unipin marker to do a rough outline of the cow that I'm going to paint. And then to give myself a fighting chance at the background, I'm going to use watercolor just to put in a reasonably dramatic sky, some hint of some foliage perhaps, and some greenery down below. We'll see how that goes. So, okay, here we go. We'll start the clock. Big mop brush into my cobalt blue. Plenty of water. I'm going to pick up some of that violet that I still have on the palette. Go right the way through the drawing, back into some of that blue. Quick rinse out of the brush. Got a little bit of the quinacridone, I think that's how you pronounce it, orange there. So let's put some of that down for a little bit of land and come in with the quinacridone green. Okay, so that's the watercolors applied. Now switching to my interactive acrylics, burnt umber, cad yellow light, cad red, ultramarine blue, tinting white. Bit of water sprayed on the palette. And now we need to mix up a kind of a yellowy brown for the base color of the animal. So burnt umber and a bit of yellow. Let's get a bit more yellow there. That's gone a little greenish. Just a touch of red. Let's get a bit more yellow in there. A bit more of the red. It's a bit more what I was after. Get some of the white in there as well. Touch more red. That'll do for a start, I think. Now, the surface of the painting, for the most part, is fairly damp, so I'm hoping the paint's going to flow fairly readily. So we'll begin by just trusting. I haven't done the drawing all that carefully, but we're going to trust it initially, and then, because we've got limited time under this little challenge. Now, for the back, I'm going to push the brush upwards like this against the bristles to create a little bit of a frayed outline to the back. We'll curve the brush strokes that way to give us a little bit of a rounded sense of form. Again, push against the bristles a little bit so get a few more frayed edges, but without going too wild on that technique. So a flat brush of this size can be surprisingly precise, he says, having just made the most imprecise brush stroke so far. But you can use the corner to get into little fiddly bits if you're careful. I will change to a smaller brush in just a moment. the main thing is to get the paper covered initially. So I've done the same thing again there. I'll try and lift some of that out in a moment. Okay, not looking too bad, but we mustn't forget the tail. All right, a quick wipe of the brush with paper towel, just to remove some of the paint. Now let's get some white and mix that into the colour we've already got, and then I'm going to squint at my reference, and there's a band of white across the front of the head and the nose there, or band of highlight I should say. I'm not going to try and copy the colour exactly because obviously we don't have that much time. Flash of light on the ear. It's a little highlight there. Little highlight on the ear there. There are some creases in the hide there, so I just feathered the tips of the brush over the painting then, and then we can get a broader highlight in here across the back. So I'm looking at the way the hair on the animal is falling and approximating that direction of hair fall with my brush strokes, but also considering the contours of the surface as well. So it's a little bit of a compromise with each brush stroke, just trying to sum it up simply but hopefully effectively. We'll see how it works out in the final situation. Okay, so there's my first sort of highlight applied. Back in with the paper towel, get most of the paint off the brush again. Try and not get too much on my fingers. Going to go